One thing my son and I really miss about Detroit is Detroit style pizza. So I needed to find an affordable, easy way to recreate Detroit style pizza. I do that by using Whole Foods pizza dough, and I'm going to show you how to take Whole Foods pizza dough and turn it into this. Let's get into it. All right, so let's get into everything you're going to need to make this Detroit style pizza from home on the cheap. So the very first thing you want to make sure that you've done is have a pan. You need to have the appropriate pan. They do sell, this is a Wilton cake pan. I want to say it's not even $20. It's not that much. But you want to make sure you have this. You want to have I forgot to mention that you can buy the Detroit style authentic pizza pans off of Amazon. I think the most popular one is $60, but they also have one for $29 and another one for $39. Fairly decent quality metal where it's going to conduct the heat evenly. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure you have these high sides with these beautiful corners here, because that's where that crust is gonna, the crust and the cheese gonna come together. They gonna come together. Okay, I'm gonna show you. But you gotta have a good pan. So make sure you do that. And then the second thing you need is pizza dough. So what I like to do is just go get this $4.99 pizza dough from Whole Foods. And I'm gonna show you how to make that work. Ground beef or the meat of your choosing. So about me, I only like to put no more than 2 toppings on my pizza. So that's gonna be pepperoni and something else. I use ground beef because the pork be porking on my blood pressure, and I'm not on that type of time. So I like to do ground beef. The pepperoni that I use is Applegate Naturals pork and beef uncured pepperoni. This does need to be refrigerated. It is real pepperoni and it's real good. You don't want to get the pepperoni that is sitting outside, like you will just walk down the pizza aisle in the grocery store and you'll see pepperoni. Stay away from that. You want real good quality pepperoni, and this is just tried and true for me. This is always real good. The next thing I do is cheese, shredded cheese. So I know some of you out there who are, pizza chefs are probably looking at this like, girl. And I know, but let me explain. One of the things that makes Detroit style pizza unique or authentic is the use of Wisconsin brick cheese. Wisconsin brick cheese is not available everywhere. So here where I am, it's not available, but you can find some substitutes. The substitutes usually cost a lot of money, just as the Wisconsin brick cheese does, right? So I'm trying to show you how to make this pizza out of your coin purse. Now, if you want to dig into your bag and make this pizza, then, go for it. I went to Target and I did the $2.29 Italian style cheese. And what I like to do is just, I will buy Target because it doesn't have so much of the starch, the powder that they put on the cheese to stop it from sticking. There's not a lot of that here. The mixture for their Italian style is provolone, white cheddar, Asiago, and Romano cheeses. That works for me. Sometimes I will do the pizza blend cheese, shredded cheese from Whole Foods, but that's like $8.99 for the same size bag. And like I said, working out of the coin purse, so we're not gonna do that. All right, next up is pizza sauce. I use Rao's because I like the taste of it. I love this sauce. This sauce to me is the best. Rao's makes the best. Rao's? Is it Rao's? I think it's Rao's. This pizza sauce is good pizza sauce. It's they sell it at Whole Foods, but they also sell it at Kroger. They sell it at Target. They sell it at Walmart. So you can get this pizza sauce. So that's what you're going to need to get started. Now, so here's your shopping list and the total of everything. And when I say I am working out of the coin purse,
That means I'm trying to keep everything as close to 20 bucks as possible. So if you don't add the ground beef, then your total is $17.76 for one pizza. But with the ground beef, you're looking at $24.05, which isn't bad if you compare it to $24.49 for Buddy's Pizza, which is the popular pizzeria in Detroit, or Jets, which is 20 bucks and 64 cents. So these are your totals. What did I want to say about this? Because you have so much pepperoni, that $5.49 for the pepperoni can definitely work for another pizza if you store that away and use it. And the same with the pizza sauce. Like, you're not going to use all of that pizza sauce. So keep that in mind when you are looking at these prices. And it will be the same with the ground beef. That ground beef is way more than you'll need for one pizza. So if you store your ground beef, store your save your pepperoni and the rest of your pizza sauce, you'll be able to grab another $2 bag of cheese, another $5 bag of pizza dough, and go at it again with another pizza.
So what we're going to do here to make this pizza dough. This pizza dough, Whole Foods stores their pizza dough in the fridge. So it has slowed down the yeast production, right? So when you get this, it's cold. It's not what it needs to be. So some people like to get their pizza dough and bring it home and just put it on a pizza stone, put it in a circle and just start putting their toppings on. I like to let this proof a little bit more. So I like to let it warm up. I like to let it get room temperature and puff up in this bag. And then I like to let it get, we need to let this dough warm up and get nice and puffed up and real confident in its abilities. We need it to know what it's capable of. So what I like to do is store this just off to the side next to my stove in a warm kitchen. And that warmth is going to warm up this dough and cause this dough to expand. And that's what you want. So I'm going to take you through that whole process, but this is everything you need to get started with this. We're going to let this dough do what it do, and I'll be back here to show you how to set this up. All right, and we're back. And just like I told you it would, this dough got some confidence. And it comes, it'll puff up right out of the container here. So at this point, this dough is a bit more pliable. It's a bit more fluffy, and you'll start to see some of the olive oils on the dough. Grab this and just put it in there. Yeah, get out of there! Blob. Blob. All right. So, you could have started, I'm gonna be honest, I probably just let it proof in the container for theatrics. You could have immediately started it in the bowl. Gonna leave it and let it get a little bit bigger. So nothing we have to do here just yet. We're just gonna put some, it's called bubble. That's good. You want those bubbles. Telling you all the hallmarks of what's going to be a good crust. So we're going to let that, we're not going to punch it down or anything like that. We're just going to leave it there. And I'm going to put some plastic wrap right over this. All right, that's what we have here. This is what it looks like in the wrap. If you do not have saran wrap, you have like a dish that you could put over it that will cover the entire circumference, do that. If you have a towel, like just a standard one of these guys, you got one of these guys, yeah, you can do that. Just cover it like that. Don't have to have the saran wrap. But now I'm gonna leave this. This is what it looks like. We'll be back in a bit. While the dough is doing what it needs to do, we've got other things to do here, yeah? Like cook our ground beef or our pork or our Beyond Meat or whatever type of other meat you're going to put on this pizza other than pepperoni. While we're here, let's check on the dough. See what it's doing. As you can see, the plastic has kind of steamed up. All right, so actually I think I want to work with this. So what I'm gonna do here is just get in here, and I want to spread this dough, which is really pliable at this point. I want to spread it. So I'm gonna spread from the center, and I'm just kind of like punching it down while I'm spreading it. So what I'm trying to do is get it in the corners, get it spread out, so you want it nice and even. You want a nice even layer of dough in this pan, okay? So it's gonna try to rebound on you, and you're just gonna have to tell it what you need it to do until, you know, it understands. Make it know, make it know. So we'll put a little bit of plastic over this. And the next time we take this off, we should be able to go in with our toppings. So we'll do that. We'll lay this guy over it. And we're gonna let that rest. All right, we're back at it. Let's go ahead and unwrap this. It should have just rested a little bit. So now what you can just do is, all you're doing is pulling the dough up to the corners, because really that's what it does when it relaxes. It kind of just pulls away from the corners a little bit. So now you should feel this going into the corners with much more ease, right? So we want to make sure we don't have any holes in the dough. The dough should be flush up against the sides and in the corners. Now, we're gonna get our toppings, and we're gonna go in with those toppings. When we're putting toppings on for a Detroit style pizza, we wanna put the toppings on and going backwards. So instead of your pepperoni going first, you're gonna do, instead of your pepperoni going last, you're gonna do your pepperoni first. Instead of your sauce going on first, you're gonna put your sauce on last. So this pepperoni's been in the fridge. It's a little stiff. It's nice and big. I like these nice and big ones here. They cook up so good, and they, although they're pork, they do not mess with they don't increase my blood pressure or bother me. So I just put them there like so. I cover the entire pizza. Okay, got a layer of pepperoni there. And the next thing I'm gonna do is my cheese. So, special thing about your cheese, you want your cheese to be all up against the corners, all up in the corners, right? All up in the corners. So you wanna go all in the corners, all along the side, because what is going to happen is the crust and the cheese are going to get together in those corners and make some great things happen. Some great things happen. We want to get our meat on here. So I'm just going to get some of my ground beef, and I'm just going to sprinkle it. The sauce goes in, traditionally it goes in a racing stripe right down both sides, just like that. You can do this with a spoon, or you can pour directly from the jar, and you can add as much or as little as you want. You can make the stripes as thick or as thin as you want, but they're just stripes. They don't go, that's it. That's it. Pop this in my oven. I do have a pizza stone, I have a pizza stone because I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my ish. You do not need a pizza stone. A pizza stone is not required. You know what I didn't do, you guys? Oh my goodness, you know what I didn't do? I did not put my Italian seasonings on the pizza dough. I'm gonna do this now. This is just Italian seasoning that I'm putting over the pizza, the top of the pizza. But usually I'll do this to the actual dough and I'll do it on top. Anyway, now back to this. We're gonna put this right in here. Again, you don't need a pizza stone. I have a pizza stone because I like to make pizza. I leave my pizza stone in the oven. I have it set down low because I want the bottom of the crust to be crunchy and I want the heat to be evenly dispersed. But all that's gonna work out for you anyway, whether you have a pizza stone or not. And if you have a pizza stone, you already know the scoop about those, so I'm gonna talk to you about it. So, all right, 30 minutes later, 350 degrees on a pizza stone in an electric oven, preheated electric oven. This is what we're looking like. Nice and golden crust. Yeah. This is for my son. He's already ready to tuck in. You can see that crust on the side there. What it's looking like. We're gonna go ahead and flip this out, slide it out onto the rack, and get it cut up. It should spit it out. Although you have cheese on the edges, it's not sticking, and this is what we looking like. This is what we looking like, baby. Okay, looks good. Good to me. Set this pan over here, and I'm gonna put this on my cutting block and give it just cut it. What we get is 8 slices. I don't know if you all can see that. Right, so that's Detroit style pizza made with Whole Foods pizza dough. If you make any variation of this, come back to this channel and let me know. Let me know how it turned out for you. Feel free to ask questions if you have any. Be more than happy to help you out with this. I think your family will enjoy it, as will you. Thanks for hanging with me in my kitchen today. I'll see you next time.